Yankees and Blue Jays, that AL East collision.
In my head all the time, so no.
Cam Schlittler, see if he challenges it all tonight. Miles Straw leads off for the Blue Jays, and a Yankees-Blue Jays tune-up is underway. And strong command. There's that cutter, Dallin.
Yeah.
On Garrett Cole, of all people. 0-2. Barely missed outside. Now that influence of Garrett Cole in the clubhouse, worth its weight in gold, even when he was out with injury, coming back from Tommy John last year. Schlittler got him.
This is poise, too. I mean, he has great poise.
Nathan Lucas stands in. Yeah, speaking of poise, Nathan Lucas spent
The World Series, that got to be a great feel.
Imprint all over the postseason. Cooking 99 for Schlittler.
Off his fastball, so it's good to see him early.
Doesn't mess around on 0-2. Schlittler's got another. That's 100. The Blue Jays just acquired a month ago. They sent Joey Loperfido to Houston. They're done with it.
We'll see what comes out of that.
They're going to harness it. Has electric power. Rolls over that one, and Schlittler
Just getting after it today in spring.
Again ahead 0-2. Schlittler looking to strike out the side. Got him.
13 out of the bullpen. 5-pitch mix.
Trent Grisham pops it up. Sean Keys looking to measure it, and he's got it for the backup catcher. Brandon Valenzuela is the battery mate. Lauer was vocal.
Made 13 starts, I believe, and then 15 starts, I think. He has great stuff. He keeps hitters at bay, mixes his pitches pretty well, and
well, he's been a starter his whole life. Ahead of Randall Grichuk going to. Drops it in for strike 3. Lefty on lefty has been no problem ever for Cody Bellinger. Lauer ahead 0-1.
For me, I enjoy starting. Obviously, I felt like was able to figure it out, how to be able to throw strikes aggressively. And yeah, for me, that was the key for me to make that. Once they made that move, I kind of got caught up pretty quickly.
2-2, and that led to unlocking, as they say, 4 straight all-star teams.
Yeah, definitely. Gwinnett went out there for 5 innings, but had 4 walks, right? So
2-2 on the ground a second. Lantigua, that'll retire the side. We're going to get back to that. Cam Schlittler, wham bam, 1-2-3, struck out 3. And starts his second with a first pitch strike. He keeps on keeping on. This is Patterson.
Yeah, so this is early May. Gil Patterson comes to me after I just threw against full time, and I said, Gil, just give me 1 more month. If things don't go as well.
Nice stab by Bellinger for the first out.
One of the bullpen, and something clicked. I was able to just throw a lot more strikes, and my velocity just kept ticking up and up, and as soon as I feel it, and I remember, man, I guess being in the bullpen's not so bad after all. I got called up right away. I knew I wasn't gonna maybe get an inning or 2, but I'm like, if I could just get called up this quick, I'd rather stay in the bullpen. And I feel like from June, throw my breaking ball for more strikes, and it changed my career from that point forward.
Oh, it's amazing. The opportunity has presented itself. 0-2 is inside on Brandon Valenzuela, the Blue Jays catcher. What do you think clicked?
I felt like the hardest part for me was having to wait 5 days to pitch again. So if I had a great start, I would feel good mentally again the next day, and that for me was the biggest thing. And I was just able to pound the strikes on a lot more.
Schlittler almost puts him away, but Valenzuela stays alive. On a 1-2, Schlittler got him. Strikeout number 4. 4 Ks. Pretty good. One and one. So sinker 98, cutter 99, fastball 99, 100.
Work on some of these pitches. The sinker.
Yanks that one. 2 and 1. That was a clinic.
I mean, I was there for both his starts against Boston and Toronto, and just the poise he showed on that mound, and curveball pretty good. And like I said before, he was just effective. He was getting after it. I felt like
3-2. Wow. Cam Schlittler. Shop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear. Laying into one this spring. Gets under that one. 0-2.
It's good to see Giancarlo's obviously healthy and
did in 77 games. He was like MVP version Stanton. Swings and misses and school the knees with the curve, or did he swing at it?
I definitely buckle him at least once.
Jazz Chisholm back in Yankee camp.
Yeah, I look forward in some of those at-bats. I mean, anytime I faced the middle of the lineup, I felt like I was geared up more for it, and I enjoy facing the best guys. In those doors, you feel like you're a boxer coming into, you know, a main event. So I definitely enjoy those moments.
McAdoo has room, has to read down for Lauer. Jose Caballero is back from Team Panama. Caballero, strong start to the spring. 4 for 12, a home run. He's showing a little pop.
Feel like Caballero's a great acquisition last year. Just able to bring tough at bats. You know, work the count.
Caballero takes ball 4. Utility. They slide around platoon. Ryan McMahon, one of those deadline acquisitions. He takes just outside from Loudon.
Right. The next time you see Ryan McMahon start a game will be on Saturday against the Atlanta Braves. He'll be starting at shortstop as the Yankees continue to experiment with just trying to figure out whether or not McMahon can. The Yankees have done this spring, and as I said, they will continue to do that. Quick thought on McMahon, guys. I asked him when he started taking defense more seriously.
That's got to be a lonely feeling.
I mean, it definitely interesting. You know, that's definitely interesting.
You go from 39 errors to basically the best there is out there.
Yeah, I mean, Gold Glove, Platinum Glove. I mean,
selling him short a little bit. He did go to Instructional League and watch the likes of Arenado, LeMahieu, and Story, and that's another thing that locked him in defensively with the Rockies.
Arenado might be
guys, and just having that view obviously shows why he's one of the best third basemen in McMahon.
McMahon bites it off and stays alive, foreshadowing all the time what you become. That's foul. McMahon continues to fight.
You don't have to rely on the defense.
McMahon swings and misses, and Lauer in a third inning, 5 strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down. He gets the first pitch out. Here's Randall Grichuk. 1 away. Old. And Jack, we're seeing 99, 100, cutter, sinker.
Throughout the offseason, Cam Schlittler talked about how he thought a changeup would be helpful for him, the back issue. And he told me that the changeup isn't a necessity for him right now. He said he might try and throw a few against the swing and miss, and he's throwing a low, softer in quotes, cutter down in the zone where he thinks he'll get some batters to roll over that. Remember, this guy's 90. He's getting ready for the season with the changeup in play. I'm not sure it's an immediate weapon.
There's that.
Could thank Garrett Cole for this.
Here's Charles McAdoo. And another first pitch out. Caballero. Schlittler 9 up. It almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Alongside Dylan Betances and Jack Curry, Emmanuel Berbari, so happy to have you with us. We also welcome our Sportsnet viewers, Yankees and Blue Jays. And
2026 season, obviously, the Yankees want what the Blue Jays was able to do last year, is get to that World Series, and then obviously, hopefully, win it. So, you know, they're the team that came out this year.
Aaron Boone, the Yankees are going to hunt him down. They set the standard, and
yeah, I know the talk this year with the Yankees is, you know, they're running them back, and I feel like at times, you know, you want those guys back, and you know, I don't think there's a bad thing in running back, and you know, when you got a guy like Garrett Cole coming back, I don't know if that's much running them back. The rotation is going to be great.
Oswaldo sign on the dotted line for Garrett Cole. First pitch ball to Ali Sanchez, the Yankee catcher tonight.
Like, man, like, I wonder what why he went to that, you know, because he's had a lot of success not doing that. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, maybe I'll ask Boone to see why he's doing that now.
We'll chat with Aaron Boone next half inning, top of the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, the AL East got a lot stronger. Obviously, Blue Jays added a couple guys. You know, they made a lot of great acquisition. So did Boston. So it's going to be in Baltimore as well. So the division is always strong, but it's always great for baseball.
Baltimore's lineup even more improved. Boston's pitching really deep. 1-2. Sanchez into right field. Here comes the other Sanchez. That's Jesus Sanchez, but it's a base hit.
And tempo and just a feel for Cole, and perhaps it even allows him a little more time to get the grip on his pitches within his glove. And interesting for the head more because it felt comfortable for him.
A parallel there. Interesting.
That's where my mind went to. I felt like maybe it's a rhythm thing, or maybe he's just trying to you know, grip his pitches a certain way, and maybe he hides it when he's kind of going above it there behind his head. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how he feels with it.
Grisham, wave and a miss, 1-2.
If it feels impressive, you know, there's a guy that's always thrown hard, just has the ability to make pitches on both sides.
Grisham down the line. Will it stay fair? It will for Trent Grisham into the corner. Grisham, an RBI double, plate Sanchez, and the Yankees.
It makes everything look so smooth. As a pitcher, I would love to have a guy like that in the outfield. It's kind of a little nerve-wracking, but you know he's going to catch it. Like, he does it all the time. He makes everything look smooth, but you're like, man, is he going to catch this ball? Because he's just glide. I feel like he glides to the baseball, and you know the way he catches it with like Andrew Jones, that one-handed catch, and you know, like I said, he's Gold Glove winner, past Gold Glove winner. He's one of the best out there.
Randall Grichuk ahead 2-0. That's ripped. Grichuk down the line. That is pummeled off the base of the wall. Back-to-back RBI doubles for the Yankees, and welcome to Pinstripes, Randall Grichuk. Twist on that draft class. Grichuk off second. Here's Cody Bellinger. And there's a strike. And Jack, a big reason that
you want that player for a reason. And you're absolutely right, Emmanuel. The Yankees talked all offseason about wanting to make sure they had more right-handed hitters. You look at their bench right now, I think Goldschmidt and Rosario are obviously going to be on that bench. Grichuk, another right-handed hitter, is vying for a spot on that bench. And just a couple interesting thoughts on him. One, I watched him the other several minutes, just hovering over an iPad. So clearly, you know, the Yankees were digging in on his swing and perhaps things that they think they can help him improve on. And then even defensively, Aaron Boone said the Yankees noticed some things about range and positioning where when Grichuk or his Yankee debut, and guys, he said the pinstripes hit differently. I thought that was a great quote.
That is a great quote. And Dylan, you know a thing or two about that.
I mean, there's nothing more like you the team is always you know, ready to compete at the highest level. the organization does the best they can to just put good people, that everything is A+. And I think a lot of players, when they come here, they enjoy it, they love it.
Oh my goodness, Giancarlo Stanton.
I mean, I'm excited to see him to start the season. I mean, I really hope this guy can stay healthy the whole year. The opposing side, I mean, I think I've told this.
You can have that effect, right? Hit a ball 500 feet, and all of a sudden, I don't want to come close to this.
I was glad I didn't pitch that series. I mean, everybody else was kind of scared to throw him a pitch.
Dylan Betances, Jack Curry, and we're joined at the top of the fourth, as always, by Aaron Boone. And another first pitch out for Cam Schlittler. Boy, he's cruising. Caballero across the diamond.
Here,
it is. Fortunately, he left his mark and set the tone for us like he does before he left. So, and he's got another week or so away from us.
Down. And how far he's progressed since then, a year later.
Really is. I mean, I think the bigger progression is the couple years. You know, to see him as Lucas lines a base hit the left, the couple years where and hold himself and carry himself really well, to then going and putting together a really good minor league season at the AA and AAA level, really dominating.
talking about Schlittler and what you seen early to what he is now, who's a guy in this camp that you're like, man, I see something similar or something special?
Size and the dominant stuff, but you'll be excited to see him tonight. He's got, obviously throws really hard, but it's the secondary that gets you excited, and the strike throwing that gets to even impact us at the big league level at some point this year potentially.
We're excited to watch with the comparison himself, Dylan Betances, right here. And Aaron, that's pitch number 40.
At all, what do we got? Am I gonna see you?
I was trying to go there a couple weeks ago, and Ben Tulibitz, the traveling secretary, he said, hey, everybody.
With broadcasting, global ambassador, coaching kids, you know, you're doing it all, so I get it. We'll take you when we can get you.
I definitely want to
see, but to welcome back Jazz Caballero, how nice is that to see guys start to trickle back?
Yeah, look, the WBC, whoa.
Running cat, nope. Cabrera over his head, so Lucas will race to third. Jesus Sanchez put a charge into that one. And the Blue Jays are set up.
Actually be off the next 2 days when we're on the road. They'll just stay back and do some live stuff here. So, but definitely good to have them back.
Boone, I think that's a bad thing, because you want the guys that had a little sour taste in their mouth to be able to come back and work on the things they need to work on to get back to that mountaintop, which you guys were there a couple years ago, and hopefully get back there and able to finish that job.
Yeah, look, I feel like we have a chance. We're a hungry group. I've sensed that this spring and have a chance to go kind of rectify that, if you will. Nice play, Cabby. All right, I got to make a change. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Urban Castro.
He's been exciting. You know, I've wanted to get him in there. One of the reasons he's in there right now is because he impressed us. Had a solid year last year to get put on the 40-man roster, and you know, he's kind of competing for a spot. You know, with assuming health with everyone, we got a man there. Come on, Cabby.
There he goes. Cabrera running cat spot off Eric Lauer in the third.
And Lau, so good to see that from Stanton.
Caballero takes ball one. Looking for maybe those couple of spots in the bullpen open. 1-2 on Caballero.
Remember that game like it was yesterday. I came in the game and it was bases loaded, 1 out, and Encarnacion flew out. And I felt like after that game, I was like, I feel like I made the team. It was only 1 or 2 spots available, and that was the game that I felt put me over the top right there.
Felt they were testing you out?
Felt like I pitched 16 innings. I always tell people about, you know, going into that year,
Chase Lee takes over, and Ryan McMahon, he facing the middle of that really powerful and potent Blue Jays lineup. That feeling coming off the mound, getting Encarnacion.
Back-to-back multiple times. Pitched 16 innings. I was one of the guys out there the most, and I felt like that right there. They were like, okay, we can take him into the room, in the meeting room, as they're trying to gather who's going up north with us. And he told, before anybody was able to voice anything, he was like, Dylan, I knew when I came in the bases loaded, I was going to get those guys out. I just felt like that was my time, and obviously I made the team. It was one of the best days.
So you do everything you possibly can. You make the team, all-star team, and 4 consecutive all-star teams. Cabrera in the game tonight. Kirby Castro out for his first full inning. Sawed off. Caballero, one away.
Guy that definitely has great defense. Like I said, just a great acquisition last year. Be excited to see what he didn't make it too easy when he was with the Rays.
Sean Keys rips one base hit to right field. So Keys is aboard.
This is a great story for sure. I mean,
down the line went to Bucknell, so he was a little unheralded after Harbor Fields, but tore it up and now has soared at every level.
Now at the big league level, big league spring training.
I don't think you can ever envision that. Keys goes. This one's flared. Grisham has to play it on a hop, and Keys will go to third. So first to third, and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Throw maybe a cutter down on the way.
Another runner in motion. Namala off the glove of Jazz. And Keys will stay put at third. In tight. And it's 2 in. NBA MVP, of course, Hall of Famer. McAdoo takes a strike, 2-2.
Trying to get a grunt.
Got him. One outside.
Great pitch there. I mean, once you get there with less than 2 outs.
Miles Straw, 2 runners out there, but right at Randall Grichuk. Putting on a show tonight, Jorge Alcala, the new Blue Jays pitcher.
Once you start, for me as a player, early spring these players are feeling now.
So the worst part of spring, those day games right in the middle.
13, right? End of 13, I was up to 100 miles per hour towards the end of the season. I come in 14, and my first out here, I'm like, Scotty, I'm just, you know, it's my first outing. I'm a slow starter. He's like, no, these guys need to see 98. Same thing, velocity's down. Now the media starts getting concerned. It becomes a story.
Nice running catch by
people in the stands to be able to get after the season in the big leagues. So it became a bigger story. Obviously, we just got Andrew Miller. We're both kind of, I put in my mind, I'm like, I got to get after a little more. And I felt like in 15, I was trying to throw harder earlier and affect them.
Who runs DMC? That's that bullpen that was put together, so you start throwing a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, talk about being able to play the whole year together. You know, we made some trades towards I never wanted him to warm up in the 8th inning. I felt like if I could just give him a clean 9th every time, that was my goal. And every time I got out there, I would, you know, the success he's had.
Grichuk flies it foul. Grichuk and Art.
Not just having, you know, the Chapmans and the Andrew Millers and the David Robertsons, the Canely, but sometimes like a Jonathan Holder, he's seen how good we were having, how much success we were having, that he was going out there and trying to match our success. Chad Green later on too, same thing. You know, you're going to get those guys out.
You knew you were that good.
I mean, we were deep. We were pretty deep. I mean, one year we had Wilson, the following year. I mean, we kept adding. Cashman would just add because he knew some of the starters at you know, at the back end probably wasn't going as long, so he knew once we came in and that
Eventually gets added. Runner goes, throw down. Did they get him? No. Trent Grisham in with the slide.
we can get. I remember being in on Craig Kimbrell, Chapman before we end up getting. We try to like kind of follow the path of what Kansas City was able to do and all the success they had when they went to the World Series and then they end up winning it. They had a shutdown bullpen and we kind of try to follow that path and you know, we had a chance to win, but unfortunately things didn't go our way. But in years we had
A lot of picking up your teammate, finishing the job for them.
the fifth inning came. If those guys were coming in, the game was pretty much over.
Bellinger cues it. McAdoo on the run. Just got him. He takes over for Kervin Castro. Nathan Lucas stands in. First pitch breaking ball, and the reason.
Man, you know, I'm definitely excited to see this kid pitch. I got a bunch of text message early. See what he had. I started checking some of his video, and I told this kid has the ability to be one of the best starters in the game. If he continues to work, then I feel like he can be one of the best starters in the game.
That's 102.
Moving parts, so you got to continue to work hard on your craft. Find ways to continue to work on your delivery, whether repeat your delivery. That's the hardest thing. You have my walk rate was super high, and I felt like I went into off-season working on that, and I was able to improve that area.
Swing and a miss. Wicked changeup at 93. And Jack LaGrange is
Harrison because of the breaking pitch. He said Dellin had this put-away breaking pitch that just fooled batters. He said LaGrange has two of them as he gets a strikeout there. He has a slider that.
Definitely, Jack. That's what makes it hard, and I feel like as he gets this ground ball double play, we'll talk about it a little more. But that.
Giancarlo Stanton obliterated a baseball his last time. A two-run shot to left center. Welcome those of you watching on Sportsnet. It's the Yankees 4, the Blue Jays 1. Cam Schlittler was excellent to start.
See there in that 1-0 count. I mean,
another drive. Belted. Giancarlo Stanton.
He's definitely ready to go. As you see, left-hander, incredible. Like I said, if he's just able to stay healthy throughout the season, we can.
Aaron Boone calls it the unicorn swing. Last 2 days. 2 to left center, 1 to right center. Yorbi Bibas took over defensively, and he flares a pop to
6-1-13. As long as it goes over the fence, that's what matters. And he knows how to do that.
A sliding play. Oh, did he trap it? Here's Ryan McMahon.
Credit.
He tried to nibble on the corners when in reality
that gets you into the Hall of Fame. So, you know, obviously, like I said, sometimes as pitchers we get in our own way, and you know, if you just able to just have.
And stays alive, 2-2.
Season. Obviously, last year he came in and probably didn't hit the way he wanted to, but this is a guy that has the potential. He's shown it in the past, and you know, if he does well with his stick, we know what he can do with the bike. So I'm excited to see him this 2026 season.
McMahon takes ball 4. Even last
said before, he's shown the potential to have good years at the plate offensively. So, you know, I think that's somebody.
Kennedy Corona took over in right field. He's dazzled with his glove this spring training. And there's a strike, 1-1. 1 on, 2 out. He's waived. Got a minor league deal with the Yankees last month. Corona watches 2-2.
Just in case you need.
Easy 6'4" fielder. That's why it's the official SUV of the Yankees. Second inning for Carlos Lagrange in his first inning. There's the slider, 2-0.
But which shows, obviously, as a young pitcher, you're in spring training.
Giovanni Blanchard gets under one. McMahon gives way. Sanchez the catch. Beg your pardon. We have wholesale changes happening right now. So that was Zach Short given away. Short, the new third baseman, Ernesto Martinez across.
And you go from 102 there to an 87 mile per hour slider. That's 15-mile difference. I mean, talk about changing the speeds there. I mean, that's pretty impressive, and probably what makes him hard to hit as well.
That's nasty.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
1-2. A changeup running in on you at 90.
In certain situations, I feel like you just learn that as the older you get.
102 fought off.
See that pitch on right there? That was 102. If he throws that back to the fastball.
Lagrange's 2-2. On the ground at third, here is Zach Short, who just shook over. And
you see Miles again changing speed. He does that very well, and I think that's what Boone was talking about earlier. Pitchability, he has that. And when I spoke to Judge, when Judge faced him, I immediately texted him right afterwards, right? I mean, this kid's not, I mean, this is not even fair. But I spoke to Judge right after. I'm like, what do you see? What do you think? Do you see his future as a bullpen or a starter? And right away he said starter. I mean, this kid throws a lot of different pitches. He's able to change speeds. I mean, and he's not wrong. This kid got tremendous talent.
Easy breezy top half of the 7th inning. Impressive work. And he was brilliant in his second tune-up of the spring. And Jack Curry standing by with Cam.
I think, obviously, pretty efficient. Again, just being able to get ahead in the count, get those put away.
Work on. You pushed your pitch count to 46. What are some goals or some things you'd like to accomplish? Body, you had a slight delay to the beginning of your first outing because of a back issue. You said right away it's not a big deal. How do you feel physically?
I feel great. I feel great. Today was really good. It's the weight room, the training room, on and off the field. So, again, I feel like I'm going to.
Season begins, you'll be in around that 65 pitch range. How comfortable with you is the possibility of adding a changeup? You said to me yesterday, changeup not a necessity. What will your thought process be about that pitch going forward? Because you didn't throw any tonight.
Yeah, again, I got some really good pitches.
Fast forward to this year, you're going to be starting the season with the New York Yankees in the rotation. How do you describe what this year has been like?
Help the team, win games and in a postseason run is a great feeling. So, again, being able to come in here right now and feel comfortable on the team with the guys,
Being able to go out for the 4th and get in a little situation and get out of it, I thought it was huge for him. I mean, this guy has a tremendous future. Obviously, what we were able to witness last year in the playoffs, being there in the stands and just seeing the reaction that the fans gave him. The fans love him. I mean, I love watching him pitch. And he does have great pitches. The ability to help your pitches now compared to when I play, you can, tweak your pitches here and there. Like Cole helping him out with his cutter. I think, that being able to do that and see success out of it is something that he's noticed with that cutter. And it's fun to see some of the.
Cam Schlittler is reflecting on his performance. A home run to start the inning from Jonathan Ornelas.
Obviously, For me, I've always talked about it with certain guys. I mean, he has the potential. He's on track to be a Hall of Famer. And you know, if he continues to like just find a way to get out there on that field, it's been one of the best hitters for a long time. Yeah, I see it as the same. 500 is Cooperstown, obviously an MVP. You know, a menace in the playoffs, somebody that you don't want to see as a opposing pitcher, obviously. And you know, for me, I mean, he has a
One in the right. An impressive company. Next up, Adam Dunn.
Friends last year, didn't even play that many games. He's 47 away, so obviously he's on the watch, right? And he's on the watch, and every home run he has a chance to pass. You know, the fans love Giancarlo Stanton. I love Giancarlo Stanton. I don't think the 2008 team that
He has had many a victim, if you will. Tyler Hardman pops it up. That's a sky-high pop-up. I got it on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Yankees, Blue Jays, appetizer for a fun regular season series. Your beep.
Serrano May, obviously last year, 1 game away from winning the whole thing.
Inches away on a couple of occasions.
That was with IKF, right? He makes the great play.
Coming home.
Gets him right on time. I think IKF was a little upset because their base coach told him to hug the base.
A lot of heat tonight on an 80-degree night in Tampa. There's heat. That's 100-mile-an-hour heat.
I mean, he arguably has the best stuff, one of the best stuff in baseball right now. You can put him in the major leagues right now, and his stuff you can put him up there with the Scoobles, the Paul Skeens. He has great makeup. The last piece for him is, you know, you see this spring, he's been able to fill the strike zone and look for that. That's probably his last piece to just become that elite guy that they envision. This guy's stuff is amazing. I feel like there's pitches that didn't go my way that I would have loved to just, well, maybe not.
Stolen bases against him. Aaron Boone detailed the story. As we're going to see a grounder behind LeGrande, ground out to short for the second out of the inning.
And I definitely know a little bit about that. I was a guy that was slow to the plate myself, and you know, obviously, so you definitely want to be quick to the plate as a starter. As a bullpen, you can get away with it, right? Like, you can go, and he looks like he's pretty quick to the plate with guys on, so good for him, and just shows the, you know, the growth in him and wanting to get back. This kid has tremendous stuff, and I'm excited to see his future, you know, continue to develop.
Corona's right there. Stanton with 2 home runs to 2 parts of the field. Left center, right center. Both moonshots from Stanton. And Duke Ellis stands in, took over defensively in the outfield. Quickly 0-2.
Fastball always played even higher.
Got him. There's that fastball at 94. 1-1.
I mean, talking about cheese, I remember in times past, like before, and I'm like, man, why at times I feel like I'm throwing a little harder, and my thing will sometimes get square up more than receive harder than what it is, and you know, you understand it a little better, but at times I'm like, how is this guy at 90-91 blowing through?
This one's got a chance. Wilson. And the Yankees pouring it on tonight.
Taking that ball opposite field, young hitters pay attention. Use all.
Kennedy Corona stands in. Yeah, you mentioned.
I mean, he always, it was either like the hitter would see it right there, he was swinging, it just either a foul ball or swing and a miss, and he threw nothing but when he first came up, he threw nothing but fastballs, but guys couldn't see it good, like guys couldn't hit it, and he had a lot of success. Obviously, he's kind of got to him a little, but he was one of those guys we had in the bullpen, as we spoke earlier in the game. I mean, he was one of those guys that was pretty electric, and Joe loved to obviously use him our game too when we face Minnesota. You know, remember Sevy down, we probably lose that game in that wild card.
And not only Chad Green putting out the fire in the first inning, but how much of a relief was it? You watch Didi's ball soar out to right.
I felt like Didi always came clutch, especially.
Always a vibrant personality is Jonathan Ornelas, who homered his last at-bat. Homer right away, bottom of the first inning to respond. And then game 5 off Kluber. And did it twice in that division series.
Expectations, obviously, the year before we traded a lot of guys, and we kind of went with the youth, and obviously Aaron Judge had a
huge acquisition.
Yeah, he had a Godfather, had a big home run. I mean, he just like flicked the bat right center.
Saw Charlie Morton, and I remember he went.
You know, he was a great teammate of ours, and now, you know, we get to be in the booth together and you know, cover the team that, you know, for me, I enjoy playing with, and I enjoy growing up as a kid. So I'm looking forward to the 2026 season for him. He's just pounding the strike zone early and often, and mixing speed. See the changeup.
See what he goes with on 0-2. Got him. That's a wicked slider from Lipisham. And then right after we read the copy, did name that Yankee, started thinking about it. A ground ball was hit right to him. I'm like, it's his night. It's Jose Caballero's night.
I mean, the night is of Cam Schlittler and LaGrange. I mean, these guys have been electric. I got the chance to meet them in the fall league not this fall, past fall, the one before. And this guy's electric. I mean, I'm excited to watch him.
Jumping ahead again, 1-2. Wow! Yankees an out away. LaGrange an out away. 1-0-1.
Means just first pitch strike. Let's just take him up north.
In a right, this could do it. Gabrielson and the Yankees. Aaron Boone.
Thank you, Manu.